Hello, super citizens. I'm Hotchpea Mania, and welcome to Helldive News. Tonight, robots making a triumphant return to the dismay of Helldivers. An update that brings new war bonds and new gear for Helldivers to play with on the front lines. And a possible way that Helldivers can carry infinite grenades. All coming up after these messages.
This broadcast is sponsored by Permacure. Put your life in our hands. Now with 50% more freedom. Do not take stims if you are allergic to walnuts. Frequent stims may cause side effects including but not limited to depression, suicidal thoughts, cancer, death, diarrhea, rashes, insomnia, and restlessness. Please consult your democracy officer if you experience any of these symptoms.
After their supposed defeat, the robots are back. The automatons have returned, and they are causing much turmoil to many systems. Here we can see the Vladis sector has now been completely taken over by automaton forces. Here in the Locale sector, it is currently 7.4% occupied, with Juch at 0.5% liberated, Short Bay at 0.7% liberated, Penta completely blocked off and completely controlled by automaton forces, and Liseth at 89.1%. Liseth is important because it is a part of the new major order revolving around the Men-Kent line, which includes Liseth and Men-Kent, both on the front lines of the new automaton battlefield. Taking this would severely reduce the automaton's effectiveness and could spell the end to this skirmish. Here in the Andromeda sector, at 54.2% overall liberated, Martar Bay is blocked off, Martal is at 40.5% liberated, Marfark at 38% liberated, Charon Prime at 100% liberated, and Charball 7 also at 100% liberated. Here in the Hydra sector, this is where Men-Kent is. Recently, it was liberated. And also in this sector, Vernon Wells and Asir Pass are both at 100% liberation. As for the automaton forces, they seem to be pushing closer and closer to the Terminids, and that could pose some very interesting and very devastating problems should the two factions decide to team up. However, on the bug front, not much has changed drastically. Here we can see the Lestrade and Sten sectors, both at 0% liberation, as they've been for a while. No Helldiver has been yet to reach these sectors, as they've been overrun with the Terminid swarm. The Mirren sector is at 10.9% overall liberation, with Hellmeyer at 43.8%, and Oshan recently being attacked by Helldivers, and is now in the process of being liberated as it has recently come under our radar. That concludes our overall Galaxy Liberation recap. Stay tuned for grenades and war bonds after these messages.
Join the Helldivers, the Galaxy's last line of offense. Pre-purchase now.
A new war bond named Democratic Detonation has been released by the Federation of Super-Earth to help Helldivers on the battlefront. This war bond includes 300 super credits, a G123 Thermite, a C27 Groundbreaker helmet and matching armor, a C07 Demolition Specialist helmet and matching armor, an FS55 Devastator helmet plus matching armor, 3 banners, 3 capes, a BR-14 Adjudicator DMR, an R-36 Eruptor Explosive Rifle, a CB-9 Exploding Crossbow, and a GP-31 Grenade Pistol. Helldivers can find more information about these new weapons and armor under their acquisition menus. They've been released recently, only a few days ago, by the Federation of Super-Earth for the mere price of 1,000 super credits. Across the galaxy today, Malevelon Creek is a frequently discussed topic. This is of course referring to the great battles that ensued over Malevelon Creek and its restoration, which was lost several times by Helldivers, but was regained at the lives of millions. These Helldivers risked their lives for democracy and liberty, and as a result, were able to push back the automaton forces outside of the galaxy. And we remember these hero sacrifices deep in our hearts. You will never be forgotten, Helldivers. Thank you for your service. A few days ago, a Helldiver by the name of The S. Britt was able to figure out a way to carry infinite grenades on Helldiving missions. Check it out.
So without further ado, let me walk you through the steps. Step 1 is to summon and equip your supply pack. Step 2 is to press the key to pull out but not throw a grenade. By default for PC, this is the number 4. Step 3 is to then open your stratagems menu. Step 4 is to then throw all of your grenades, and just after you've thrown your last grenade, open and close your stratagem menu a few times to break the animation cycle. Something interesting has now happened. You have a grenade in your hands, but no grenades are left in your actual inventory. This interestingly allows you to still throw a grenade, and we end up with -1 grenade. That's very curious. Evidently our Helldiver here has unlocked psychic abilities and is now manifesting matter out of thin air, because even with a negative quantity of grenades, we're able just to keep throwing them.
Now, while this method may seem practical, however, it can have its drawbacks. For instance, with the increased amount of grenades on the battlefield, Helldivers are fairly more likely to get blown up in accidental explosions, as well as Helldivers being able to involuntarily team kill their teammates who may not be aware of grenades flying their way. But of course, use this advice at your disposal, for the Federation of Super Earth is still deeming whether or not this is a practice they want their Helldivers to continue doing. That concludes this broadcast of the now weekly, after its first ever broadcast, Helldive News, reporting from the front lines at Super Earth and in the studio once every weekend on Monday. And remember, stay safe, stay free, and I'll see you next week.